Hey, how's everybody going? Doing my last minute prep, and I'll be live in a couple of seconds. There won't be super long. Yeah, those couple of seconds before going live might not seem like it, but very often I'm doing like 10 different things at the same time and trying to not forget something. I will be on time. Hey, Shine Zero! How are you doing? I'm happy to see you here, man, because I need some information from you. Steven Shine. Okay, thank you, man. Thank you. All right, I'll get that shipped to you probably right after the stream. Thanks a lot for the information, man. Hey, good evening everybody. I hope that everybody's been having an excellent night. I'm super happy to see you here. Mystical Unicorn Painting, how are you doing? Shine Zero, how are you doing? I'm glad that you sent me the missing information because I was getting a little bit stressed here because I'm looking at my my list of stuff that I need to send and get ready, and well, most of the stuff has been crossed out and I really want to get that to you, man. Oh, no big deal, no big deal. Race Walker, how are you doing? Alright, so we have a pretty cool night ahead of us. Still working on the Librarian model. I'm glad to know that, Race Walker. Mystical Unicorn, I am pretty good. I'm having a bit of a crazy week this week. Like I have a whole bunch. Hey, Bizarre 40K, man. Thank you for coming by. How are you doing? Ah, man, 3 months already? That means your subscriber badge is going to have changed. Can we get some, let's call it Jesus. Jesus are not used enough in the stream for Bizarre 40K here. Ooh, last week, won Typhus. Typhus is going to be on its way soon, man. All right, so let's dig in. Couple of things that I want to try to finish tonight. Oh gosh, I'm super lost here. All right, I was about to change my focus in order to change my camera. Can you believe that? All right, hopefully we have an amazing night. So Librarian on deck. Last stream we finished the Librarian cape. For this stream, I'm going to try to sort out the belt situation. So there's a belt going on, and then there's some keys, there's some purity seal or scroll or whatever that thing's called. On there we have a book, and then there's a gun. So the belt situation is actually pretty busy on that model. So this is what we're going to work on. And let's start with a very strong knight, and I'm calling Mahogany to start for. All right. Hey, Cat Herder, how are you doing? Is there an issue with my sponsors coming? Oh. GSPitter14, thanks a lot for that follow. Can I get some, let's call it some good old hype for our new friend here. And the cool thing is we are 14 followers away from our objective of 500 that will then allow me to be part of the Creator program. That would be absolutely amazing. King Bizarre guy, yeah. So, all right, let's dig in. This is mahogany. I'm thinking red leather for the belt. Cause like definitely I don't want to do brown because the Jedi cape thing is brown. So brown is not an option for the cape. Oh, that's going to be an interesting paint project. So, everybody who is in the stream right now, we've been, we've known each other for a couple of months now. If you want to help me out tonight, I very much want to reach that 500 follow objective. The main reason why I want to reach that objective is basically so I can get you guys even more giveaways, right? So, please go on your social medias and share this stream so that even more people can come around and help out by hitting that follow button. So, GSPitter14, what are you painting tonight? Thank you for coming by. Now the belt is going to be a little bit sketchy to paint because there's that book in front of it, and the book is definitely in the way of my brush and in the way of everything. Usually, as you know, I do sub-assemblies, but that was originally a tabletop model quality, so it is not prepared for basically a decent paint job. It is prepared for a very average tabletop quality paint job. Translation of that, no sub-assemblies. Okay, and the book, oh, do I want to go crazy on the book? Okay, I'm going to do mahogany as a base coat for the book as well. But I'm going to bring the book a lot higher in the red values there. We're about to reach 100. Playing a tournament with the Creature Caster guys? Thank you, man. But honestly, I am 14 followers away from like legit being on the Creator program, like through the actual go on the website and fill the form type thing, right? So it's going to happen at some point. Just that I'm an impatient person, and I'd like for that day to not be in 10 years from now or 3 weeks. I ate up all the nerds. Thank you, Shines. Much appreciated. I'm going to do part of the gun holder in that color as well. Now the cool thing is, after I do that, I'm going to take some decision about the gloves, because the gloves has been puzzling me since the beginning of that project, right? Because the thing is, on the Games Workshop model, they actually did a gray camo cloak thing on this guy, which I didn't want to do because I find it's a little bit silly. Like, the guy has a camo cloak, but then he has a golden sword and a blue shining sword and everything like that. That's just stupid, doesn't work. So I decided to go with the Jedi thing, but from that point on I was like, what color am I doing the gloves? Because I don't want the gloves to be the same color as the Jedi cape, but then maybe red leather for the gloves would work. But it's a little bit of a bravery test that I'm a little bit afraid to take on this one here. So after seeing how red comes out for the belt and all the accents on the model, I'm going to be able to do that decision in a more enlightened way. Alright, so that first coat is getting there. I'm going to wait a bit here. Okay, in the meantime, what I'll do is I will start base coating the small skulls that we have kind of all over the place. Oh, but things I was about to forget, the keys. Got to deal with the keys as well. So the keys themselves, we're going to do non-metallic metal, copper or bronze. Basically start with the same color anyway, so I don't care. Before June 8th, can bring him... Bizarre, I think the Creature Caster guys I've seen, Typhus. Thanks a lot though for offering. And we have a very strong start tonight. Sounds like my song is playing. Sorry for you guys, but there's some singing about to happen. Sorry ahead of time. I wished upon a star last night and thought of you, but it must have been a dream, 'cause you're not here. I've never been one to believe in fantasies. Oops. But perhaps it's time for a change of mind. I guess there's a first for everything. Oh, we fell in love, we had a fun. You always had enough dreams for... Hey, Absent! How are you doing? Well, Mystical, I'm pretty sure that... Oh gosh, did I... No, okay, I did not screw up. I'm pretty sure that Light the Way is perfectly fine with missing this one. Now there's one less star in the city. Now there's one less star in the city. Now there's one less star in the city. I saw a shooting star last night and thought of you. But it must have been... Absent, how are you doing? Alright, going for second coat on the book. I'm doing pretty good. I'm having an extremely busy day. There's a whole bunch of emails that I need to answer. And people that I need to contact for various projects that we are probably going to be doing on the stream. And I've been unable to answer these emails since the beginning of the week. It's ridiculous. How's your commission going right now? Hey Slow, thanks a lot for that follow. You are number 487, meaning we are 13 followers away from reaching the goals I'm trying to achieve and getting into the Creature Creator program. So thanks a lot for that follow. And can we get some beavers in the stream for our new friend here? So Slow, what are you working on tonight? What is on your paint desk? And how are you doing tonight? Been lazy since the weekend. Haven't painted the lake since Friday. Oh, well, you know what? Sometimes you need to take a break. And that's perfectly fine. Like, for myself, like, I enjoy very much painting on camera. But sometimes, because I'm doing, like, Patreon's video and everything, sometimes I realize that most of my time, Studio J7 is rating our party of 49. Holy cow, man. Thanks a lot for that. Much appreciated, man. I mean, I cannot thank you enough for that. How was your stream, man? there's going to be a pretty big follow wave here. So everybody who's coming in, I am Studio J7. Thanks for that follow, man. Much appreciated. Can we get like I'm seeing the alerts come on right before they come on the screen there. Can we get everything that we have? Hype, Beaver, absolutely everything for everybody who's coming in here. Stay Zeus, thanks a lot for that follow. Much appreciated. I am trying to reach 500 followers to get into Creator Program. I think this is about to happen. Charton, thanks for that follow. We're at 488, I think. No Sense 51. Studio J? Painting Ened. Oh gosh. Hey man, you know what? I've got an Ivrain model that I have in a box, and I have kind of the perfect base for her. I'm thinking of doing an elf with her. Torquamidus, thanks for that follow. Please, everybody in the stream, keep giving out some beavers and some hype for everybody who's coming here right now. And I'm thinking of doing her as an elf, like a wood elf or something like that. Ranubis1, thanks a lot, much appreciated. We have now reached 500 followers, which is absolutely amazing. So, I am super happy about that. Let's do something special and unexpected, because I didn't want to announce that like on the spot there. Skriker, thanks a lot for that. Thanks a lot for that follow. 3D Code Warrior, much appreciated, man. And I wanted to do that when I reached 500, but I didn't want to like announce it like just out loud. So here's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to do an unexpected giveaway, and I'm going to do it right now because we just reached that 500 followers. So this is going to be a big thank you to everybody who's been here and who's been supporting me, and just thank you. There's nothing more that I can do here. Id, thanks a lot for that follow. The rule to be part of that giveaway is to be a follower and nothing else. So here's what I'm doing. Let me set up something on screen. I'm going to switch to my ugly face here. And Glorious Badger, thanks for that follow, much appreciated. I'm going to go to Creature Caster website, and I'm going to show you something. Now, I'm not going to be seeing absolutely everything because there's a lot of things I'm trying to do at the same time right now. And I'm going to do one giveaway right now. Random Stone, thank you for that follow. And the giveaway is going to be relatively simple. I just need to go on that website for a second there to confirm something. Greek Salad, you've got an amazing name. You've got an amazing name. Okay, so I'm going to do a giveaway for a model of your choice on the Creature Caster website. The only rule for that giveaway is the model has to be either one of their lords or lady. So we're talking of a pretty good model. It's a 80 Canadian dollar model. Studio J7, thanks for that sub. Can we get some bunch of hype in the stream there? And I cannot show these models necessarily on the stream, so I'm going to load up the bot that I use for giveaways. And as usual, my subscribers will get more luck on that giveaway. So subscribers will get 5 times more luck. I'm setting up the giveaway right now. So 5 times more luck for the giveaways. No more luck for the regular. You have to 3D Code Warrior, thanks a lot for that follow. I know I'm missing a lot of alerts right now. I am sorry, everybody in the stream. Please keep pushing these hype emotes and everything. And we're going to do that giveaway right now. So, Creature Caster, I'm going to remove that follow goal as well because it is now achieved. Either Lord or Lady, model of your choice. And I'm going to share my screen right now. In order to be in the giveaway, you need to be active in the chat at the moment. So you just type some hype, type some beavers, anything you want in there. This is how you get in that giveaway. It was not, I actually had planned it, but I didn't want to say it because I wanted people to actually be here and like willing to come back and actually be part of this. So you just do a whole bunch of message in that stream right now. Gyroscopia, thanks a lot for that follow. Please everybody continue give some beaver on there. I'm going to do a countdown here. So 10, 9, 8, 7. Dart Jameson, thanks a lot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Glorious Badger, you have just won a Creature Caster model. I will need one thing from you. Please let me know what model you want as a whisper, and I will need your name and full address, please, so that I can ship that to you. All right, so let's get back here. I'd like to say big thank you to Studio J, who just made that possible for us here. This is extremely appreciated, man. Raids like this just, I mean, you know it, you're a streamer. It makes such a difference for a streamer. So thanks a lot, and thanks to everyone who was here and who took follow and subscription on this. This is much appreciated. I enjoy your presence here big time. And on this, I am going back to painting. So we have reached our objective. We're at 509 at the moment, which is absolutely amazing. And the paint had time to dry, which is even better. So if you want to reach me on the chat, please don't forget to tag me on your post, because otherwise I might not be able to see your message, and I might go over it by mistake, right? So I am in Ottawa. How about you, man? Oh, the butt is crapping out. This is even better. Are you doing? We started, we were, oh my god, yes. Bizarre, you were here among the first indeed. I was honestly super lucky because it's been, I've been streaming since January now, but I was super lucky to get like a whole bunch of support from the community, like Studio J here, like the Long War guys gave me such a big hand, and like they're rating me super often. That is like a big help. So yeah. Honestly, when I started that stream, I was like, I'm going to probably do this for 3 weeks, and then nobody's going to be watching and nobody's going to care. And on week 3, there was like 1 person watching in the stream, which was super funny. And on week 4, I started having like regular people showing up, and that changed everything. Because once you've got people coming in and like engaging with you, streaming becomes extremely fun, right? Because it's all about the community. It's all about engaging with people, and like people you met on your stream. Like I have very often after the stream, I continue chatting on Instagram with a whole bunch of people here, and like the community is just so amazing. That what makes the whole thing interesting and fun. So just a big thank you to everyone. This is incredibly appreciated. You can't even begin to imagine. Slow in New Brunswick. Oh, nice to see you here. Torcomidus, how's he living in Estonia? Oh, you're far from home. Mystical Unicorn, good point. I am currently using mahogany, which is quite possibly the best color in the world. Studio J, work out well. Finish. Haha. Thanks a lot. Oh yes, in the UK. Thanks a lot, man. And Studio J, honestly, I can't thank you enough for this raid. Everybody who was here before, please drop by Studio J stream, give him a follow, and like supporting streamers is extremely important if you want your streamers to continue streaming. So please drop by his stream, have this guy follow. And Studio J, thanks a lot for tonight. I cannot thank you enough. Much appreciated, man. Race Walker, yeah. The Mad Clover Mini is now following. Mad Clover, thanks a lot for that follow. How are you doing? And more importantly, what are you painting tonight? Oh, I just realized now that I keep forgetting about the middle of the buckle here. Getting all excited here. All shaky, forgetting to paint parts. Gosh. Okay. We're going for non-metallic metal silver on the buckle. So I'm not going to do mahogany on it. Thanks a lot, man. Much appreciated. Stay Zeus. Oh, sounds good. Have a good one. Thank you for coming by. Light the way, lurk mode, painting up some panel. Light the way, I can't wait to see your models. And everybody who's here at 8:30 every time I'm streaming, we're doing a work in progress session. So if you want to be part of that work in progress session, you type !email, that will give you an email address, and you send me a picture of whatever you're working on at that email, and at 8:30 I usually take a quick break and we look at the stuff that everybody's painting, and that is absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to see the stuff that Light the Way has to show tonight. Light the Way, I've got big expectation, man. Okay, enough with that red, I think. Or mahogany, should I say? Yeah, enough with it. That's good enough. What I'm going to do is, before I continue, I'm going to do the off-white basing for the stuff that needs that color. So my typical go-to for this is Menot White from P4. I enjoy that color. Like, it is irrational, the love that I have for that color. It's a little bit like mahogany. Those are colors that I use everywhere all the time. Mad Clover Mini, still being held hostage by that job. Got a Reaper Bone Black Orc Shaman. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I've never painted the Reaper Bones minis myself, but I've got a good friend here in Ottawa who has their dragons, and gosh, these things are absolutely amazing. Alright, so I'm going to dilute that color a little bit on the palette. Then I'm going to clean this brush, because that's not what I'm painting with. I just use that for mixing. And I'm going to switch to my actual painting paintbrush. Hey, Mystical, though. The 100 threshold is for a single stream. The lifetime threshold is 1,000. Do not forget that. 1 a.m. UK time. How you doing, Lost Torpedo? Sorry, I've seen you come in, but I was talking and I forgot to greet you, man. How are you doing? Okay, so normally I would have basically worked all the way through here. Just quick remembrance of what this model is. This was a commission that I was painting. The job was for tabletop quality mini, and I'm falling behind on my delivery date there, so I needed to paint this guy on stream to be able to make my delivery date. So I had a chat with the client. I told him, man, I'm going to paint this to above tabletop if you allow me to paint it on stream, and if you allow me to decide what I'm painting on that thing, and basically full control over what the paint job is going to look like. Client said yes, no problem. So for this reason, there are small things on this model that from time to time I am just letting slip by and not feeling guilty about. So the detail here on the scroll is going to be one of these, like for the key part, because I don't want to go up all the way up in these keys. But we will be playing around with scroll work and like scriptures on that thing, because that I very much want to. I'm trying to go for quick wins on this that will make the model super nice on the table and be like above tabletop quality without having to spend like 100 hours painting the model. I will have to come back on some of the keys. All right. Sent me a PM. Sounds good, man. I'm pretty good. I am pretty good. Black line has risen. Hey, I'll take me milestone. Oh, I missed something in the chat there. Mystical, have you reached your follow goal on Instagram? If you've not reached it, it must be pretty close. Right. Skull here. I love that song. So everybody who is in the stream, not yet, 9:36. So everybody who is in the stream, if you want a chance to win another Creature Caster model, drop by Mystical Unicorn Instagram. She's currently doing a giveaway for a Creature Caster model when she reaches 1,000 follower on Instagram. Mystical, if you want to drop your Instagram link, go ahead and please do it. Alright, give me a second. I'll have a quick look at something and we'll get back at painting right after. It's going to take literally a second. Oh! All right. Oh shit. No, no, no. Okay. Quick. Erase error mode. Switching brush. Going to clear water. Is this too late? It is too late. No! Damn. Okay, I did a boo-boo there. Going to have to go back and retouch the freaking cloak. Okay. Live screw up. Not an issue. We're going to do the scroll first, and then I'm going to go back and fix that thing. And I ate some paint in the process. Yo. Okay, we're going to allow that to dry for a second. Going to do some base coating on that head we have on the sword. Thanks a lot, everybody, for supporting Mystical Hair, and absent to everybody who basically has an Instagram and do stuff on there. If you want to share your links, just go ahead. You know that stream is always friendly for this type of things, so just go ahead. Okay, do I have more of that color that I need to put? I don't think so. I'm going to bring in some more mahogany accent. Now I'm thinking about it. On these leather strap here. Oh, I was off cam, sorry about that. I'm a little bit all over the place right now. I got overexcited reaching that goal. I'm going to have to write Creature Caster an email later tonight. Hey Vex, am I already following you on Instagram there? So people who are new here, Torquemanidas Vex, please send me a whisper with your Instagram handle so that I can have a look at your stuff later on, please. If I'm not already following you on Instagram, please send me your Instagram handle and I'll drop by. Okay. Alright, I'm going to let that dry for a second there. I'm going to add some water to that Minot white. That's going to dry, it's just water, so it's not a big deal. It's going to dry nicely in time. Oh, that's great. Well, everybody who's here, you can also drop by mine. It's Canadian Mini Painter. You can do !Instagram. It will give you my link. And when you give me a follow, I'm going to get a warning. So I'm going to be able to come by and look at your stuff as well. Okay, so I'm loading some dark umber on the palette here. I'm a little bit pissed off there because that cape was absolutely beautiful and I need to rebuild that part there, which is not going to be easy or nice. But we need to recover from that mistake, so okay, I'm going to let that dry. Luckily the build-up was really easy. What's not going to be easy is to match the colors that are around it. That's the part that is no fun. Okay, going back to mahogany, one last coat on these strap on this guy's leg. Then pretty much everything that I'm going for with that color is ready to go. So I'm going to load some burnt thread on the palette. This is Pro Acryl burnt thread. And we're going to do the red letter buildup using this color. If you have never seen burnt thread, if you ever want to do red letter, burnt thread is your color to go. Like, Pro Acryl burnt thread is just perfect for precisely that. Like, I keep using it over and over and over again, mostly for this reason. So I'm going to do a mahogany and burnt thread mix here on my palette. Sorry it's happening off cam. I don't need a whole lot of that, but I do need some. And burnt thread is a really powerful color. So when you're mixing it with another color, you don't need to put a whole lot to get the full power of the color. I got I got screwed a couple of times there with that. Okay, so we're going to start with the belt and the leather straps and the book, basically, and we're going to build up from there. Don't forget if oh, thanks a lot. $90 more to go to 100 tonight. Yep. But mahogany is definitely present in my workflow tonight. So if there's a chance of this happening, it's probably going to be tonight. All right. I'm going to switch brush. Going to Monument number 1 on their Bombwick. I want number 1. No, I don't want number 1. I'm going to number 0. Switching to a synthetic brush. The bristles are a little bit stiffer. Going to dilute that mix a little bit here. I need this to be almost watery. Going to glaze this on slowly and do a nice color build up from that glaze. Alright, I'm going about in the middle. Not pushing it, because we're going to come back for multiple coat of this. But you already see the kind of feeling that this is going to put on that. It just looks natural, basically, right? So that's what we're going for. Newborn, how are you doing? Act Roman 116, nice to see you back. I hope that you're having an excellent night. How are you guys doing? I almost did another mistake here. Came very close to destroy the cloak again. Alright, some more water in the paint. Being extremely careful here. I went over a little bit. That's not an issue. This one's going to be easy to fix. Need to let that dry. This here is a little bit more touchy. Going to let dry. We're going on the gun. Gun is going to be super fun to paint here. So, yeah, the gun is going to be tons of fun because it's a big, nice flat surface. So we're going to be able to do some cool things on this. Kind of want my highlights around here. I'm going to do some towards the bottom as well, and towards each side of that gun holder. And we're going to see how this looks as it dries. I need to let that dry. For now it doesn't look like much, but once this is dry the colors should blend in pretty nicely, because if you look everywhere else the colors are already pretty much blended. That looks pretty good. So Newborn is painting bleach bone layer on top of black primer. Long and boring process. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But black primer is kind of the way to go, right? Alright, now going back at this one here, we're going to continue the build up. Oh, look at that! That blended pretty nicely. Like, my boo-boo is almost a thing from the past here. So, I mean, why not do another one? Okay, hopefully this one dries nicely as well. Okay, belt. This is second coat. Not going to push this one super far. And it's not a big deal here that I'm going slightly over, because this is not done, right? So that's perfectly fine. The buckle is going to be dealt with after. So slowly build up, but surely build up. I'm going to deal with the book separately here. So look at how the build-up looks on the gun holder. It's already like it blends in pretty nicely. So we're going to go back there. I need more water in that paint. Not much, but just a little bit. When you're blending like that, you're trying to push the color towards the area where it needs to be the strongest. So on the first pass, there was no such thing, but now I'm pushing the paint towards the border of the gun holder. Because when the paintbrush leaves the model, it leaves basically a drop of paint there. And if you don't do that, your blend is going to be all screwed up. Okay. Going to do another round of this, and then after we're going to shift to a brighter color. It's already looking pretty good as far as red letter goes. What time is it? Can I If there's someone who's not painting tonight, can I task someone with clock duties? Remind me when 8:30 is going to hit, please. Mystical Unicorn, are you up for that? A little bit more. T-Man, oh gosh, really? Is it really 8:20? Okay, no, it's 8. It's about to be 8. Thank you, Mystical. Lost Torpedo, you scared me there. I was like, is it already 8:20? Like, how fast did this stream went? I was looking at what I was painting. I was like, gosh, I didn't painted anything tonight. Okay, you build up a little bit here as well. I don't care about this thing here, I'm going to come back and fix it anyway. Like, the belt is what I'm trying to do. The belt is my main objective here. The rest around it, at the moment, I don't care much. All of that can easily be fixed. I think red was a good color for that belt. No problem, Lost Torpedo. But for a second there, I was like, holy crap. I mean, I am a slow painter tonight. Like, deadly slow. Okay, so right in the middle of this gun holder there, I'm going to dilute that red quite a lot more. I need it to be extremely watery. There's one small zone that is slightly raised. Allow a little bit of color to build up there, but not much. Just to please the eye, basically. Okay, cleaning that brush. And now we're going to the pure burnt red. Preparing this on the side here. Adding a whole bunch of water to it. Mastro, how are you doing, man? Mastro, I have a package on my countertop for you with your name and address on it. Nice to see you here, man. We have finally reached the 500 magical number in follower count. That was about half an hour ago. You sadly missed a surprise giveaway, man. How are you doing? What are you painting? Oh yeah, look at that. Well, sadly the camera is not quite picking up the color properly, but believe me, it looks good. Not bad. Thanks a lot, man. Mastro's also been more PVCs? PVCs, what does that mean? Marshall, you've been one of my first followers, right? I think you've been with me here since like February or something like that. Am I kind of right here? You've been here for a long time. Pretty much since the beginning of that stream. Yeah, thank you for your support. Bizarre 40k was recollecting how it was when there was like 3 watchers on that stream initially, like back in February. We had a good laugh earlier. Oh gosh, that was hard. Believe me, streaming when like Twitch shows 0 person watching you is one of the hardest things that I've done. Like morally, it is crushing. Big Bush Crawlers, that's pretty good. Are you going to send picture for the whip session? Slowly build that color. Red letter is very cool to do, but you have to respect it. Slow build up will give you excellent results. Trying to make it as fast as possible will not. Alright. Okay, so on this side of the belt, my blend is not quite how I would like it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my previous color and I'm going to clean up the middle of that blend. So I am middle color. I'm with the previous color here. This appears very strong, but it's just water, so it's going to dry. And hopefully this is enough to clean off that blend. I'm going to do the same thing here because it's a little bit harsh. I'm going to let that sit for a second, and when we come back I might even go back to the previous color even, if it need to go back there. Sounds good, man. Okay, maybe not into that song tonight. Let's skip. That's a classic. Yeah, I like that. Let's go with that. Okay. Need to clean the brush a bit. Reload with color. Put the color on. Going to let that one be. I'm rather happy with how this one came out. The belt has been fixed. If you're looking at the blend on this side of the belt, it is pretty clean at the moment. So I'm going to let that one be. I'm going to let this be for now, but I need to not forget and go back to it. Okay. Cleaning up my mistake here. It's fine. Going to do the red for the book now. So, same build up or very close to same build up as belt. Just I'm doing it individually here. That's going to be interesting. Not sure. Yeah, just going to wing it. Going to be an interesting build-up. Good thing I made it separately. Same thing on the other side. Need more paint on that brush. Okay, I'm going to let that side be. Going back to the exact same color for further build up on this side. With the other side dry, I can go back to the other side as well. As you can see, I'm being rather sloppy on this, but do not forget this is leather, right? So there is some texture on leather. Like, leather is not entirely textureless, so it's perfectly fine to do that. And it's also fine to allow the glaze to build up a little bit of texture here. So not wait until the glaze is fully dry to come back with the other coat, because that's how leather looks like. So okay, now going to the burnt thread. This is pure burnt thread. This one I'm probably going to be slightly gentler than what I was with the rest of the belt. Okay, I'm going to let that one dry, and then let's try something different. I never used golden brown that much, so I'm going to load some golden brown on my palette, and that golden brown is going to be Lost Torpedoes, 96 followers. What are you talking about? Is that your follower number? What are you talking about? Okay, so golden brown is going to be mixed in with some of that burnt red, and that is the color I'm going to use for the highlight on the leather belt and everything. I'm not usually using that color, but I've decided to use it precisely because I'm not usually using that color for this purpose, because I want to do something that's slightly different than what I usually do. So this gives me kind of a nice pink. That's going to be a pretty good highlight color here. Your Instagram. Am I already following you on Instagram? I probably am. I mean, you've been here for a long time, and I try to follow absolutely everybody. So I probably am following you, huh? If I am not already, I'm disappointed in my own self here. Okay, cool. Okay, so loading that pink on the brush. That's going to be for just a gentle highlight, not too big. Just a gentle thing in the middle here. And I'm going to come back and slowly build up. Good highlights are not strong the first time you put them. Well, I mean, sometimes yes, but you've got to be gentle and allow it to build up if you want it to be subtle and just slightly eye-catchy. Like, look at that strap here. The camera is not doing it justice because there's some glare right on the model, but the build-up is actually pretty good at the moment. Slow and steady, basically. Keeping the brush clean is also extremely important. If your brush is not clean, paint is not going to flow nicely from the brush. You absolutely have to have a clean brush for this. That's why I keep going to my pot of water there. Okay. A little bit more here. Not much, just a bit. It's starting to look like it. Okay, this is going to dry nicely. I'm going to have a sip of water here. Need to take a note. Glorious Badger, are you still in the chat? Obo Jojo, thanks for that follow, much appreciated. Where's my? I usually have a note card. Glorious Badger, if you are still in the chat. Okay, cool. Glorious Badger, do not forget to send me your contact information, name and address for that giveaway. So I had a quick look there to make sure that I was not like missing the information. Don't forget to send that to me, please. I'm actually going to take a note still, just in case you forget. Glorious Badger. All right. No problem. Howling Bark 7, thanks a lot for that follow. Can I get some beaver in the stream for Hobo Jojo and Howling Bark 7? How are both of you doing? And what are you working on tonight? What are you painting? And you're coming in at a good time because we are about to do a work in progress session. So if you want to show off your stuff, just do !email. And send me an email with a picture of what you're painting, and we'll show that on the stream around 8:30. Paint After Dark, how are you doing? Paint After Dark, we are still to schedule that paint session. Glorious Badger, no big deal. I have taken a note here, so if you don't do it like right now, at least I have your contact info. Thank you for that, Mystical. We're relatively close from whip session. If you are working on something and want to show it off the stream, please do !email and send me a picture. Keep in mind that there's some stuff that I'm not allowed to show on stream. If your whip includes one of these things, which I'm pretty sure I don't need to define, I will not be able to show it off. That's starting to look good. Okay. I think that's where I'm going to stop for the belt. Kind of like it. How's the stream? What's the stream thinking about the belt here? I like it, but I'm the guy who just painted it, so I'm kind of biased. Do we push it? Do we push those highlights further, or we keep them as is for now? What's the general feeling here? Going to lower the exposure. That will probably show the model a little bit more as it actually is. Yeah, this is closer to what the model actually is. I tend to work with a bit higher exposure so that you guys can see the small details. Love it. Pretty snazzy, look good. Oh shit, real good. Guelo, how are you doing, man? Thank you for coming by. One tone higher. Okay, I'm going to push it just slightly higher. So going to mix some of that burnt red. I'm not going to push it on the whole model, just in very select area. So mixing some even brighter tones with the exact same color that I've used before. Now this is mostly golden yellow. Not golden yellow, sorry. What is the name? Golden brown. Gosh, I'm saying ridiculous thing right now. Guelo, how are you doing? Okay. Yeah, that's a lot brighter. Sweet tea just came out. Yeah. All right, let's push it real hard for Guelo here. Oh, whoever talked me into that, I love you. Because that works really, really good. Okay, I need to clean the tip of the brush here. So I've got a bit of paint on the very last hair. Yep. Oh yeah. That works. Now eating Burger King? Oh, got home from bowling? The last time I did some bowling was with one of my friends, two of my friends, and my wife. These two persons are probably in the stream right now. And I basically fell on the aisle. It was ridiculous. Like, I gave a show there on the bowling place. Okay, I need another brush. Sorry, I lost my way there. Going to Monument 00. My mind is a little bit all over the place at the moment. Sorry about that. Not more than that. Just a little bit of that color. Just a little bit. Yeah, that works extremely well. Works extremely well. Now from time to time you're seeing me twist my brush. This is to allow me to not have reload my brush and also to prevent bending the tip of the brush. Okay. Let's go work on the book a little bit. The book is kind of the child with no love at the moment on this model. Lost torpedoes. Have a good night. See you next time. Thank you for coming by. 15 minutes until whip. Falling with the ball in hand would be scary. What the hell are you guys? Oh, yeah, okay, on the bowling. Sorry, man, I zoned out here. Yeah, but I fell, like, it was the first time I was bowling in, like, years, basically. Like, probably in, like, 15 years or something like that. And I had the ball in hand with the shoes and everything. And very first time I go down to drop the ball, I literally, like, went to the ground in a very unfashionable way. Like, I was rarely embarrassed like that in my life. So golden brown for red highlight is an excellent color. The more I use these Pro Acryls, the more I find they have interesting what's the expression I'm searching? Sorry, I'm French native, right? Not English. But they have some properties that are interesting in the sense that some of them dry and they're so made that you actually have to want that effect, right? You have to plan for what color you're going to be using, not just based on the color, but also for some of these colors based on how the color dry. And that makes things really interesting because on some of these colors you can work with the texture that the color gives to build effects. And that's interesting. Haha, Archimedes, thank you for that. Much appreciated. What color is that book again? There's some mahogany in there, definitely. Glorious Badger, I see you in a second. Going to be buying the Monument paint set. Yep. You're not going to regret. I enjoy every moment of painting with these colors. Actually, they've pretty much became my my go-to colors. Like there's some colors in there that dry with some texture that sometimes I don't want the texture, so I use an equivalent color from a different brand. But aside from that, all my blues are now pretty much all the time Pro Acryls. They've got such a good thing going with their dark gray blue and sky blue that this is ridiculous. Their yellow is actually yellow, like it's not It's not slightly green or slightly blue. It's yellow. So it's really nice. Okay, so let's do some scripture play here. My wet palette is starting to get a little bit screwed up, so I'm going to try to repeat what I did with Typhus and do some drawing on the scripture. Now this one is smaller than what was on Typhus, so it's going to be slightly harder. And now that I'm talking about that, I just realized that I do have this here that needs to be painted as well. I got too excited early in the stream, and I keep losing my train of thought and what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm going to use a smaller brush to do the pages. Should have thought of that earlier, but as I said, apparently I got ahead of myself big time. Hopefully I can do this without screwing up. If I screw up, I'm going to be a mad person. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. No need for 10 passes of that color here. Yeah, that's good enough. Oh yeah, we need a mahogany command. Mystical, can you send me a whisper with that, please, so I don't forget about that? Or an Instagram message or whatever. Going to make sure we have a mahogany command for next stream. Thanks a lot. So we've just reached 101. So we're just 900 mahogany away from doing a mahogany based giveaway. So everybody, we are getting very close to the work in progress session. If you've got stuff that you want to show on the stream, that you want to share, !email, and you just send me an email at that address with pictures of what you're working on. I'm going to do another pass here because this is not exactly clean. Should help out bring this better. Oh, by the way, I have to say that. So one of my friends who might be in the stream right now is a guy from Quebec City, and he's a big fan of Horus Heresy. And he keeps telling me that I need to read these books and how good they are and everything, and I never really read them. But I recently got an Audible account, and I started listening to them, and gosh, that thing is good. The Horus Heresy books are written so nicely. I'm currently listening to that stuff like when I'm in my car, and yeah, my commute has become like so much nicer. Torcamidus, if you are afraid that your email is going to show up on the stream, your email is not going to show up. And my personal policy is I don't do link clicking while I'm streaming. So whatever you want, man. But if it's because you're afraid that your email is going to show up, your email is not going to show up. Don't be afraid. I'm never showing people email. And Guelo, they are indeed on Audible. And the cool thing with Audible is that you get one free book every month. So the book that costs you $50 at Black Library, you get one free every month on Audible. So yeah, that is currently changing my life. Block my wife from getting a free book next month. Yeah. Torcamidus, when we do the whip, you can remind me of, and I'll try to go by. Five-minute warning. I think this is enough to do the scripture. Is that paint dry? I think it is. Okay. It's time to see if I can still paint. Okay, so I'm using Daler-Rowney sepia ink for this. The reason why I'm using ink is that ink has a different way of sticking to the brush and flowing out of the brush. So basically you get more precision from it. So it's a little bit like a wash, but it's very, very, very high pigment. So it's pretty strong. I know how to... Oh, is there going to be some singing? Light away, I'm so sorry for you. We've got the double dip tonight. We had the folk version earlier. Now we've got the one with the electronic stuff. Literally 5 minutes before the whip. Sorry about that, everybody. But there's going to be some singing involved in this stream. So I'm at 10-0 brush here. Saw last night and thought of you. But it must have been a dream, 'cause you're not here. I've never been one to believe in fairy tales and fantasy. But perhaps it's time for a change of mind. I guess there's a first for everything. We fell in love, we had a fun. You always had enough dreams for both of us. I wonder what would come of us if we could trade these ends for beginnings. I'm drinking from an empty cup. The hardest part of young love was growing up. It's not enough to fill me up, 'cause now there's one less star in the city. Now there's one less star in the city. Okay, I'm going to let that sit a little bit. This scroll is less straight than the M3 scroll was. So it's a little bit harder to get decent looking stuff on this. But I'm still going to attempt it, because that's the whole point of this stream. If I'm not pushing myself, there's no point in me painting. Dark Amidus, thanks a lot. When I started doing that singing on stream, believe it or not, I would consistently get a 5 viewer drop whenever I would sing. You are the first person to tell me that my singing does not suck. Thanks a lot. Had enough dreams for both of us. I wonder what will come of us. is that enough? Can you support us? Yeah, that's going to be a lot easier for me. Thank you for that. Alright, let's go for the lines on that thing. Small brush. Now, the thing with lines, here's the thing. This is something I need to say. So, because I'm like, lines are not hard to do, but people keep doing them the wrong way. So I'm going to cut a piece of paper here, and I'm going to show what I mean. Because I think this is something that people need to realize. So, when you're doing lines on a scroll, most people, and I only realized that not too long ago, and I wish someone would have told me that like years ago, most people will do a whole bunch of lines like this, right? And that's what we tend to all want to do. However, as it turns out, that's also not how written scripture looks like. So that's garbage. What written scripture looks like is more like that. Small line, longer line, maybe 2 dots, maybe a full line, maybe a medium line, then another one, maybe a couple of dots. That's how scripture looks like. So when you see cool scrolls on like Games Workshop stuff and everything, if you look closer, you're going to see that that's what they do, and that's how it looks like text instead of just a bunch of lines. Alright, is it whip time yet? Okay, whip time? Is it? Yeah, it's 8:30. Let's do whip. Sent in? Alright, I'm going to put my cover on my palette here. Let's switch to my ugly face for a second. So, I'm going to do a quick shout out for my own self. If you enjoyed this stream, please drop by my Patreon, !Patreon. I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff on there that is not available on stream or on YouTube or whatever. So go by there. It's one of the very good way to support this stream. It's always much appreciated. Speaking of which, I have a shout out to do for one of my new patrons. So Colin, I was supposed to do that shout out last stream. However, I had a whole bunch of stuff going on before the stream. I was not able to prepare correctly. So if you are in the stream right now, Colin, I'm deeply sorry. And I'm going to do another shout out next Monday, because that was Monday is when I typically do my shout out. So just in case you're not here tonight and you're going to be there on Monday, thanks a lot for your support on Patreon. This is much appreciated. You have no idea how much this gives me some support. So, well, I had a shout out to do. Thank you for your support, man. Okay, so I'm going to close that window. As you always know, getting the whip ready takes a little bit of time because I need to review the pictures ahead of time. So, and while I'm doing it, I'm not seeing what's going on the stream. So I'm sorry about that, but that's the price to pay for whip. Okay, I'm setting that up. Should not be super long. We've got some cool stuff again tonight. There's always good stuff. This is going to be a good one. Okay, I'm getting the picture ready. If you want to get on that whip session, just type !email and send me an email. Okay. There's some, oh, good, oh. Yeah. Cool stuff going on. Light the Way's coming in with some airbrush action. Man, your airbrush's gone so good lately. Some more orcs. Alright, so whenever I see your stuff, whenever I show your stuff on the camera there, please just raise your hand and let it be known that that is your stuff. Because sometimes I don't remember all the names, because the name that you're sending me emails with often don't match your name on stream, so that caused me a bit of a brain fart. All right. So the first one is Mystical Unicorn Painting, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go on screen capture mode. Mystical Unicorn working on a kick-ass dreadnought. Guerlo, was I supposed to do you a shout out and did I miss it? Or maybe I... Are you toying with me, man? So, Mystical Unicorn, good job on your highlights there. I also love the fur on that beast beside it. Is that Mystical? Yes, it is. Mystical, I don't know what you've done, but I think you've leveled up. I love that thing big time. Like this, I love the work you've done on the scratch over it. There's some more picture. Let's have a look. You're doing some very cool weathering on that thing. I love it. I love your base again. I mean, you have to show me how to do decent base at some point. I love your weathering on this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Your highlights are very nicely placed on those scratched. No, I believe it's your big time. I believe it's your. It's just that I think you've leveled up. Like, I've seen your paint in the past, and you're a good painter, but this one is special. You've done some stuff on this one that you don't usually do on your other models, so you've leveled up. Yeah, I know, and that's what I'm saying. You're probably painting, like, I'm jealous of your weathering there. You've leveled up, big time. So, I mean, congrats. I love that guy. I absolutely love it. Your highlights are getting a lot sharper. Your highlights are getting a lot sharper. Your dry brush here on the wolf, if it is dry brush, I am a little bit far, but whatever you did here works really, really nicely. Is there a picture from the back? No. Oh, I wish you had sent me a picture from the back. So Mystical, I've got a thing for for Space Wolf Dreadnought. I'm going to switch my face here. I have a bit of a story. So when I first started painting, I was like 12 years old or 13, something like over 20 years ago, basically. There was a shop locally. It was our local shop, and on every Sunday afternoon, the shop owner would actually pay one of his employees to sit down with a bunch of kids at the table and show them how to paint. And that guy was such an amazing painter. And at one point, he was painting a Space Wolf Dreadnought because he was painting his boss army. And, like, the Space Wolf Dreadnought back then had a piece of fur like that. And he was painting, like, the bloody part of that thing. And that was so amazing. Mystical Unicorn, you have no idea how much you just brought me back. You brought me back like 20 years ago just now. That thing is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Thanks a lot for sharing this. You brought me back to when I was a kid for a moment there. I love it. Alright, Plaguebear Crawler. Who is this? I know the name of the person. But I must roll. Okay, yeah. Oh shit, man. I keep. For some reason, I have a hard time making the link in between your actual real name and your chat name. I do not understand why. Mustro, I love what you're doing with the weathering here on the front part. I'm guessing you're going to do the same thing all over the place. I love it big time. What's your plan with the green stripe here? It's looking really good. It's also an interesting paint scheme because we don't see these painted like that too often. Most of the time we see the full Deckard green and then a whole bunch of Agrax Earthshade or something like that. But yours is more subtle here. This is interesting. Identifier for all three of them. Okay, so this guy is going to have one stripe, and then the other guy is going to have two stripes, and the other guy is going to have three stripes, or something like that. You need to weather that stripe the same way you're weathering everything else. It looks beautiful. I love your weathering big time, but please, please, please weather that stripe. Oh, I've got a hot chocolate delivery for me. Give me just a second. Yes. So, big thank you to my beautiful wife who just dropped me a hot chocolate. Surprise hot chocolate. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. But it looks beautiful, man. I love your weathering here. Often people go too strong on this. And then when you do the dry brush to do the highlights, if that's what you do, they also go too strong on the dry brush. But here you have just the good mix, and your metallics are not too strong, neither too muted. That matches really, really, really nicely. I'm super impressed with that piece here. I love the rest, but that piece here, I think, is what makes the vehicle. Good job. Thank you for sharing this. This is Light the Way. Light the Way is working on some brass scorpion from Forge World. So Light the Way is one of my private lesson students. We've been working on his airbrush lately, and we spent some time thinking about the color scheme here. Light the Way came up with an idea of doing a sunburst scheme on the brass scorpion, a little bit like what you're seeing on some guitars. And we basically spent a bit of time trying to find a good way of doing this with miniature paint. And Light the Way, I think you're nailing this thing. This is absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to say and say again and again and again. I mean, same thing as Mystical Unicorn. You've leveled up quite a bit on this project here. Your airbrush job is extremely clean. There's no spickling. There's another picture. No, okay, I'm going to stay here for a second. There's no spickling. The gradient is perfect. It's very bold. Like, the picture does not show it quite enough. The picture is pretty far, but as you see here, this is not black. It's actually purple, going to red. I love it, man. Good job. Good job. All right, let's go to Paint After Dark. I think this is Paint After Dark, am I right? All right, thank you, Guelo. I'm going to prepare these right now. Oh, cool. Oh, got some cool stuff incoming. Paint After Dark. We've seen all the orcs in the world by now. Yellow, I mean, gosh, I mean, yellow orc is just perfect. This is the way they used to be painted, and I miss the old times. You guys are bringing me back to my childhood tonight. I mean, once you do your magic on the skin, this is going to be exactly as good as any other orc that you've painted so far. Yellow is a bold color to put on a weapon. I think people should put it more often. Plasma gun used to be painted yellow. I missed that time. Paint After Dark, thank you for sharing. Okay, I've got a bit more pictures here. So this is, I'm guessing, a Gundam Guelo X? Those are Gundam parts that you're working with? Man, I've got questions for you here. Let's go back to this. Guelo, I've got some questions for you. Like, okay, so that's 135 scale. So, what I'm looking at, that's metallic paint, right? Okay, and you've airbrushed that metallic paint, right? Like, my bet is that this is airbrushed. Okay, so this is Vallejo Metal Magnesium? Like, the name of the color is Magnesium? Okay, can you send me an email, please, with that? Or not an email, but a whisper, or whatever suits you the best. Because I never tend to like metallic paints through an airbrush, because the coverage of metallic paints through airbrush I find tend to be garbage. But gosh, man, that one is good. Like, your coverage is very good. Like, I cannot explain this without like a shittier picture beside it, but your coverage of this looks like this is car paint, basically. Which, good job. I mean, I need to buy one of these paint pot now, because I'm going to be using this big time. I love it. I love it. Does it spickle a lot through the airbrush? Yeah, that's probably why the coverage is so good. Because it's probably not spickling. Because metallic paints tend to be like notorious for spickling. And there's no spickling on this thing. So it has to be like crazy thin. Yeah, for sure. Oh, thank you, man. Okay, so someone had to remind me to see their Instagram. And I'm bad with name. Torque. Okay, so I'm going to unshare my screen for a second. Go back to my face. And I'm going to drive to Torque Instagram for a second. Let's go see Torque. Torque. Oh, lovely. Oh. Okay. Torque, if you're still there. Yeah, you are. Let's go screen capture. So this is Torque Instagram. I mean, come on. Everybody who's here, have a quick drive to Torque Instagram page. This guy deserves more followers than that. The job on the computer display here is absolutely beautiful. Like, you make me jealous and you put me to shame here. I very much love what you did with the computer display here. Those are not so easy to do, and you nailed it. The effect is there. I like it. The radar is very good. The driver, love your metallic work on him. Like this. Yeah, the detail is beautiful. Good job. some white. So Torque is a bold and brave man. Or women, I don't know. Your base work is also very good. Are these risen bays or are these bays that you're doing? Cork bays. Gosh, you have some talent there. You have some talent. I love this. I think people should do a lot more scenery, scenic bays like that. Good job. The dead guy there is absolutely genius. I love the fact that you have slot for bases in there. So this is probably going to be. Oh, it's for canister. Oh, okay. So these are the feet for your Imperial Knight. Huh. Love it. Love it. Some conversion work here. Oh, green stuff work. Dude, like this is the new dreadnought, but you converted the hell out of that thing. Like this here comes from a veteran dreadnought, right? And you converted the hell out of that thing. Like this is very much like on top of the green stuff that you did. This is very much not normal. Like you did that. This is not. This is your work. Huh. Good job. Good job. I love your green stuff. I love how bold you were here. Because you basically changed the one thing that nobody liked about that miniature when it came out. And you made it look like the old one. I think you made it taller. Am I right? I think this guy is taller as well. Am I right saying that this is like this is Bjorn, right? You did a Bjorn with a new dreadnought. That's what you did. Like you converted one of these new dreadnought to do a Bjorn. Yeah, Ed Bjorn. Oh, that's amazing. Have you seen? There's a. Oh gosh, I don't remember the name of it. There's an audio novel from Games Workshop that explain how Bjorn became a dreadnought. I wish I remember the name of that. Have you listened to this? If you have not, please have a look at Games Workshop stuff because that audio novel is absolutely beautiful. Okay, cool. Yeah, exactly. Ulrich version Primaris. I love it. Your conversion work is absolutely beautiful. Your conversion work is absolutely beautiful. Torque, question for you. How many different models do you need to do that one model here? Because I have one of my good viewer who keeps asking me to do a Space Wolf, but I do not want to do an old Space Wolf Marine. I want to do a Primaris one, but then there's kind of no Primaris Space Wolf Marine, and your model here is absolutely beautiful, and I kind of want to paint that thing. So what do I need to do that? Can you send me an email or a text or whatever? Send me whatever you want, or message on Instagram. I kind of am very interested in knowing what you did here, because I'd be very much interested in painting this guy. Good job. And another Primaris Space Wolf. Huh. Well, nice discovery. Exclusive Lieutenant. Okay, the one from Games Day or something like that. Okay, let's go back at my ugly face for a moment. All right, so everyone who sent in some whip night, thanks a lot. This is much appreciated. I always like seeing what everybody on the stream is working on. Quick shout out for my sponsors. So exclamation mark sponsors. That will give you a whole bunch of information about M3 Studios, who is still doing Kickstarter right now, accepting late pledge. M3 Studio does some absolutely amazing 3D resin scenery and like printable scenery and stuff like that. Jump by their website and their Kickstarter, and you're going to be doing some pretty cool discovery. Game Envy and Out of the Box. Game Envy is the maker of the holder that I'm using. If you are interested in getting some paintbrush racks or some older, exclamation mark Envy. I do have a discount code for Game Envy, so have a look at that. And Out of the Box, local store here in Ottawa that has an amazing web store. It sells discounted Games Workshop, exclamation mark out, and go by there and have a quick look. Even if you're in the state, the stuff they're selling is actually so cheap that even with the shipping, it's worth it. So let's go back at painting. Mystical, if you do exclamation mark M3. Well, Torque, much appreciated. I mean, thank you for sending these. If you could send me a whisper or a private message with the information you just put there on the stream, because 100% sure that I'm going to forget about that. That'd be much appreciated. Okay, so we were working on the scroll here. And I was working with a small brush. 10-0 it was. Going to try to be a little bit bolder than that. Yeah, ink is kind of the secret to scrolls. At least it's my secret to it, otherwise I can't do it nicely. But with ink, I say it's pretty decent. Now for the one at the back, I'm just going to do some quick and dirty dots and lines. Not going to push that one more than that. Oh, that one was a little bit fat. Alright, no more than that. And do I want to do the reverse? No, I'm not doing the reverse on these guys. No, I'm not. Not spending more time than that on this. The front is good enough. I'm going to let that dry. And we're going to start loading the palette with some strong tone. Just bought 3D printer. Oh, well, you know what? I have a jump by M3 Gaming. They also have an Instagram page. And like JV from M3 is such a nice guy. Just go by. That's exactly what he's doing. He's selling STL files and stuff like that. So you're probably going to enjoy his stuff. His stuff is actually pretty good. Oh yeah, Torque, that's very real. 20 years of doing Games Workshop with Gundam. Yeah. About time. The world needs to know more about your work. You do amazing work. Okay, so I'm going a little bit dirty here on the wash. I don't want to... Let's remember that this was originally a tabletop model. It's just getting pimped up a little bit. So I allow myself in being a little bit sloppy on some parts. Basically the stuff that would require a lot of time, as this is still quite above tabletop, so I'm good with being sloppy on some parts. The book pages are not all that well defined. They don't pick up the wash so well. I'm surprised. Usually Games Workshop's pretty sharp on this. Going to just scroll with that as well. I have to be careful and not drop that on the cloak. Otherwise we will get a destroyed cloak. Okay, front part, let's try to not go too heavy on the wash. Still want to be somewhat heavy, match the rest, but I don't want to overpower what's on there too much. I still want that thing that I did to show. Okay, I think that's as far as I'm going to go on this. The resin 3D print, yeah, those are the best. Yeah, too expensive for terrain. Too expensive for terrain. But yeah, JV has like absolutely amazing stuff. I like personally wish his company was known more than it is, because he's doing absolutely beautiful things, right? Like, he deserved to be known. Okay, let's let that dry for just a bit there. Not going too crazy on scrolls, not more than that. This is good enough. Cleaning the brush. Small footprint, yeah. The bed is pretty small. Although Formlabs did came out with a larger bed couple of weeks back, I think. Okay, so I have a wet palette issue right now where my palette needs to be reset up. So I'm going to do this fairly quickly here because my palette paper is unusable. So give me just a second, I'm going to reset up. I need to put some water back on that palette as well because it's running dry. This is not going to be super long. Formlabs are overpriced? I don't know, man. This is pretty much the only thing I know about resin printer. What are you using? Alright, water is on the palette. New piece of paper. Hopefully that's going to be good enough to finish the night. I'm going to hold that there for a second. I'm going to be finished setting up that wet palette in about 30 seconds. Not super long, it's just something that needs to happen. Otherwise it's impossible to paint. And that is going to be able to last, should last me for the rest of the night anyway. Okay, it's 4 minutes past 9. That wet palette is pretty much ready to go. Alright. Let's reload this with some mahogany. Good old mahogany. If I get $1 every single time I say mahogany, I would quite possibly be rich. Okay. Then Yellow? Do I want to do yellow? Pro Acryl has some crazy orange. Just don't have it on my table right now. Never use their orange too much. Let's go orange. Because I want to do copper stuff. So I'm going to build up of orange instead of yellow. People in Moy, it's similar. At least at half the price. Yeah, okay. Is the resin cheaper? Because on Formlabs, the resin is definitely prohibitive. Cost-wise, it's super expensive. Oh, the ball bearing is stuck there. Sorry about that, you're going to hear some banging. Sometimes they're Pro Acryl because there's ball bearings in there. Sometimes they get stuck in the nozzle and you need to give that thing a little bit of love to unstuck it. 20 times tonight. Gosh, we're doing good progress. Cheap anycubic photon. Never recommend them. Longwar TV is rating us. Thanks a lot, Longwar guys. How was your stream going tonight? We've been having an amazing night up to now. Marsh, yeah, I am from Canada. How's everybody doing? And what was the big thing tonight on stream? What are the big news on the Games Workshop realm? Twinning, thanks a lot for that follow. How are you doing? Can I get some beavers in the stream for our new friend here? Paints? Yeah, I can guess. So how much are these paint going to cost? Marsh Stratus, thanks for that follow. As always, this is much appreciated. Everybody in the stream, can we get some good old beavers in the stream for our new friends here? So I'm about to do some non-metallic metal on the keys there. We're doing a copper build-up on that color. I'm going to do this on the skull at the back as well, just because I feel like it. I'm currently using a mix of orange and mahogany from Pro Acryl to get to the color that I'm looking for. So I'm preparing this off my palette here that you can't see. Sorry about that. $7.50 US a bottle? Are they out of their mind? Oh boy. Okay. And what's the general feeling? Do people tend to think that $7.50 a bottle is a good deal, or are people outraged by that? Because I sure am. Thorasis, thanks for that follow. How are you doing? Can I get some hype in the stream for our new friend? $7.50 a bottle, gosh. I'm going to have to sell a kidney for that. Noriki, thank you for your follow. We're working on that librarian here tonight. It's been moving forward. It's pretty nice. Can I get some Jesus for all of these people who are following here? Blue Wyvern, thank you for that follow. And what is everybody working on tonight? What's on your individual paint desk at the moment? Corin, thank you for that follow. Can I get a big storm of hype, beaver, Jesus, and absolutely everything that we've got in bank for everybody who's been following right now with the Long War stream? I need to catch up with the... Not sure, so... Yeah, Race Walker, you're kind of right. Yeah, $7.50 is a little bit expensive, I think. Like, there's some very good paint company that do paint for cheaper than that. I get that the contrasting is kind of a hype that Games Workshop is building on at the moment, but I don't know. I feel like my 13-year-old self would have not enjoyed paying that price for a paint pot. So, I don't know. Whatever. There's going to be people buying it anyway. That's probably what they told themselves. It's expensive. Okay, I'm sorry if you can't see this on the cam. It's a little bit in a strange spot. Humanity 27. Thank you for that follow. And how are you doing? Can I get some beaver for humanity here? Alright, slow build up process. This is orange mixed in with mahogany. I'm being slow on that build up because I don't want to go too far. I don't want the key to actually be orange. I'm looking for a kind of copperish, rusty look or something like that. Basically, I'm just having fun slapping paint on the model. The way it should be. Unleashed Ivy? Thanks a lot, man. These are from Monster Cat. So if you're interested in accessing my playlist, basically, !music, and Monster Cat is free, so you're going to be able to listen to that playlist as much as you like. I missed a follow there. Probably Ed the Dread and Lord 17C. Thanks a lot for that follow. And let's call it, not beaver, mooses. We haven't had a lot of moose tonight. Sounds good. Sounds good. !mooses for our new friends here. This is always nice. Alright, so painting keys. We've done some work on that scroll that's right beside him, like right before working on the keys. Now is slow build up on the key chain. I'm going to switch to a orangey version. Lord 17C, thanks for that follow. Much appreciated. Can we get some more moose? More moose than that, come on. More than that. So I'm mixing some mahogany again with the orange from Pro Acryl. And this is what I'm using for that build up here. So it gives a rusty looking color. Like this is the color that I'm about to paint with. And like if you're looking at doing a rust effect on the model, like this is a perfect color, right? Like mahogany can be used for just about anything, so that's kind of my go-to color at the moment. That's why there's counting on stream, because I've got to deal with my viewer that if I ever say mahogany 100 times in a single night, then there's an instant giveaway happening. And the count is rotating on streams. So if I do 100 mahogany in one night, then there's a giveaway. But if I do 1,000 over multiple nights, then that's also going to be a giveaway, which probably is going to include a bottle of mahogany. Just because I like to troll people. Alright, slowly putting that color there. The keys are going to look like rusty and I like that. That's pretty good. Torque is up to 5,043 so far. Not quite. Not quite. I mean, for sure, 100% sure. The day I'm doing a mahogany giveaway, and like, I might actually try to buy a whole bunch of mahogany bottles and just ship that bottle to absolutely everybody who's going to be watching the stream at that given moment when it happens, right? Or something like that. Because it became such a joke on this stream that I cannot pass that like silently. Like like we are literally building an event on stream around that paint pot, so cannot be passed silent. Okay, I like that. I like how it's coming up. Okay, so I'm going to bring it up a notch in the orange, doing the mixing on the palette there, but I'm not sure that I'm going to apply it on the model, because I still don't want the model to actually be orange, right? But a little bit of that might be a good idea. So I'm currently doing the mix and adding more and more and more orange as I go to see where is the actual moment where I want to stop that mix. And I have not found it yet, so I'm going to keep pushing it. Guelo, just a jug of mahogany paint. I wonder if a creature caster guy would sell that to me like in like a 1 liter format. That would be such a nice prank. A whole jug of it. Why not? Okay, I need to be a little bit careful here, because that is starting to be very orange. But I do want to keep push this, so that is very much not my last step. I'm going to go 1 notch further than that, and maybe quite a couple of notch actually. So I like how it's coming out. As far as rusted metal go, I'm very happy with how this looks. So be right back. Sounds good, man. See you in a bit. Okay, so I'm adding a little bit of orange to the mix that I have ongoing there. Going to bring it up as long as I'm happy with how it looks like. This is getting like, we're getting really orange there, but I feel like this is a good thing for the model. So orange kind of mixed in nicely with the blue that's on there. And I'm just putting like small dots of it, so it kind of still works. Yeah, that works. Makes for an interesting color, that's for sure. Need to let that dry on the skull, because the skull I might not want to push too much. Okay. So, question for the stream. Keys on the keychain. Do we want to push more, or do we want to leave it be? Torque, I'm currently using Monument Bombwick cord, Bombwick detail brush. This has been my go-to for a while now. Basically, the blue ones are synthetic, but like with kind of Kolinsky feeling, whatever. I don't know how they call that. So, oh, they call it prime synthetic Kolinsky. So Kolinsky synthetic, I don't know, something like that. And the red one are sable, natural sable brush. No push? Yeah, I think you're right. On this one, I think you're right. However, I am going to push, but I'm not going to push in the same way that you think I am. I'm going to, oh, do I want to do that? Like, this is what I have in my hand right now. Do I want to do what I'm about to do? Yes, I want. Or not. Is it time to be brave, or is it time to sit out on this one? That's a hard question here. Okay, no, I'm sitting out on it. I'm not doing it. This is rusted, it should not be super shiny, so I'm not pushing it more than that. Thank you for keeping me at bay. So I'm going to fix the boo-boo that I did on the cape earlier. So loading some dark umber and some light umber on the palette. Torque, I've never used a Series 7 brush, so I am unable to compare them. I do know that I like the brushes very much. This was the first time for me using sable brush, so I like it very much. You do need to do a bit of a prep on the brush to remove some stray hairs and stuff like that, but aside from that, I love the brush. Once the stray hair removal is done, you've got amazing brush in your hands for extremely cheap. So basically, for the price of 2, if you're Series 7 brush, you get the full set. So it kind of is hard to beat that price. Like if you're looking at like Artist Opus that is getting super hyped up right now, like the set of brush costs like $200. That's in Canadian money. So like it's quite an expensive Like, it still is a brush. I mean, no matter how much you care about it, it's going to break down, it's going to go bad, and you're going to need to replace it. So for me, that stuff is outside of my budget. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to add some water to my brown mix that I'm doing. Hopefully I can do this relatively quickly because I don't want to spend the rest of my life working on that cloak. This is going to be a paint and let dry moment. This is glazing, so it needs to dry nicely before I go back to it. It's Games Workshop painting budget, doesn't matter. What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't understand. Okay, I'm going to allow this to dry more. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to load some black on my palette, if I can find my black. Right there. I'm going to load some black on there. And we're going to start working on the gray non-metallic metal, so silver non-metallic metal, very slowly but very surely. And I want to have a bit of a cold feeling to this, so I'm going to prepare some dark gray blue on the side, and we're going to add some blue in our build up for that color. And this is going to bring some basically interesting pigment in there, otherwise it's just going to be gray, which is absolutely boring. Everything GW painting, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, like, I still have a budget I need to stay within, right? Okay, so I'm going to give a quick coat on everything that is going to be non-metallic metal silver with that black. I'm going to try really hard to stay on camera here. Alright. That model is going to be gorgeous. I'm going to be sad when I see it leave my place to reach that client house. At least it's going to be seeing some nice gaming. A little bit on the top of the buckle. Okay. Keychain thing, like the ring around the keychain needs this treatment as well. Just the ring, not the keys. Cannot reach the back part here, so I'm going to let it be. Corner of the book. I know these are often like golden, non-metallic metal, but there's a lot of yellowish and earthy color tone around this area on the model. So instead of doing golden, I'm going to do silver on this because I want the contrasts of the silver and the cold silver against the more earthy colors. Alright. Oh, that's a lot of paint. Good lord, good thing I've seen this before I touched the model. I would have destroyed the model. Okay. Making sure all the pieces have the same tone of black here. And do I want to do these things? Yes, I want. I'm going to do the book spine separately. Okay. Okay. So, let's load some white. Only budget constraint is the wife. Yeah. Good for you, man. I've got a decent hobby budget, but there's something that I'm not allowing myself. Estonian overlord. Okay, so I'm going to do some mixing with black, and I did not loaded white here. What I loaded was bright ivory, I think. Yeah, bright ivory from Porcrill again. And I'm going to be very gentle here, because I'm going to stay on the darker side of things, and like not like I don't want a long and subtle gradient. I want a very short and very sharp gradient. That's what I'm looking for. So there's going to be a lot of black on that NMM that I'm doing, and then I'm going to do a relatively sharp jump pretty quickly to pure white. So what I did is I just mixed in some bright ivory with black, and I added a little bit of dark gray blue. So that gives me kind of a mid-tone gray that has some bluish reflex to it. Basically, this is the gray that it's giving me. It looks a little bit like 30K Space Wolf gray type of thing. Torque, I would. However, this one's for clients, so I do not have that liberty. I'm going to add a little bit more of that bright ivory to this. I want to bring it a little bit brighter, and this is going to be diluted as glaze anyway, so it's okay that it's sharper. Okay, so adding a lot of water to this right now. Oh shit, I did quite a boo-boo there. I need to clean the brush. Okay, this should be good. Okay, adding that white. I won't tell. Yeah, sure. Okay, so this is a glaze. Damping the brush. I'm hoping that this will be visually interesting. Is my brush damp enough? I think so. This is going to be a multi-pass type of thing. It's not going to be working in the first pass. Just placing the color right now. That might be slightly too thinned down for what I'm doing. So I went to an area of my palette that was thicker, because I was too thin down. I don't want that transition to be smooth. Like, I'm purposefully going for hard transition here. That mix of black with that dark gray blue, and then a little bit of well, quite a bit of bright ivory actually works quite well, because usually when people do NMM and they don't add another color in, like blue or something like that, the NMM end up looking just like grayscale, and that's boring. Okay, this is going to be slight. It's a strange shape. I don't enjoy painting NMM on this thing. Like the corner of the books are a very strange shape. Should have took some time to think about that shape here, because definitely is a little bit awkward to paint. Okay. So the blue helps bring the metallic feeling quite a bit. Multipass, yeah, fifth element. Yeah, that works pretty well actually. The cool thing is it's possible to be relatively bold on it, which I like. I am currently developing an absolute respect for Banshee. Banshee is the guy who started the fuck smoothness movement in miniature painting, and I have to admit, I think he's right. I think we over obsess about how smooth our painting is in miniature painting, and there's some very cool thing that can come out of not painting smoothly. I'm not saying painting thick and like cake the model, I'm saying just not smoothly. Some very cool things that can come out of there, and I think we need as a community to look into these things a little bit more, because otherwise we're all painting the same thing over and over again. I remember when NMM was a new fad. Yeah, but NMM has been along for a long time. If you're looking at like some 1990s White Dwarf, Mike Megvy in there, Mike Megvy was actually doing NMM. Nobody was calling it NMM, but if you're looking at a lot of his stuff was actually NMM. Okay, I'm going to let that black dry for a second there. Oh yeah, that kind of looks nice. Yeah, I mean, I have a hard time doing it. Like, I did the sword here on Monday, and I'm relatively happy with this, but it's a work in progress. Like, I do it and do it and do it and do it and do it, and even if I suck at it, I still try to do it, and at some point I'm going to stop sucking. Okay, so heavy body white coming from this thing. I'm going to mix in just a little bit of dark gray blue to it. It's going to be very gentle bit of dark gray blue, because I do not want, like, I want the white to be very strong here. Okay, so literally just like one tiny drop of dark gray blue on there, and then a whole bunch of that white. Dark gray blue from Pro Acryl is very powerful color. You don't need a lot. If you put more than just a drop, you're going to lose your white, and your white is going to go gray, and like very gray, not just like gray going on white. It literally is going to be like almost mid-tone gray. Okay, cleaning that brush. And then I'm going to use a much smaller brush, and we're going to come with that very thick paint. The reason why I'm using thick paint here is that basically thick paint makes for very detailed thing, like highlights, be extremely sharp. That's why I'm using thick paint. So I've got a cold white here. Just putting a dot, not more than that. My paint is dry. Paint stripper than paint. Yeah. It's a learning in process. It's a learning in progress for me. It's not. I'm learning. And I'm still to master silver. I'm still to master all the colors, but like gold, I feel like I got a pretty decent hold on. Silver, I still suck at pretty badly. This is a slow process. Basically, you just need to be patient. Some more paint on this. Paint is drying on my brush. I'm going to clean my brush. This is going to help with paint flow off the brush. Okay, I'm going to leave more paint on here because I don't want this to dry. Cool. Okay, a little bit, just a tiny bit here. We're going to come by after and we're going to smooth out just a little bit the previous color because I feel it's good, but it's just a little bit too strong. It's just a little bit too contrasty there. It's looking somewhat decent. Okay, so now I'm going to add some more black to the first kind of Space Wolf gray color that I add. Quite a lot more black to it. Still is going to be gray, but it's going to be a lot darker gray. Currently doing this off cam here, so it retains the blue effect. So this is how it looks like. So this is a very, very, very dark blue. I'm going to add a whole bunch of water to this. And now I'm damping my brush, making sure this kind of makes sense. It does. I'm going to come here, I'm going to glaze it with the transition, and that will help smooth out that transition just a little bit, because I do want to keep it sharp. It's just that it was just slightly too sharp for my liking. And the top one, yeah, just tiny bits of paint there, and when it dries it's going to, because the paint is so thin, it's pretty much is going to blend it on its own without any work on my part. Yeah, alright, and this already looks a lot more like it. Castle Mayor, thanks a lot for that. Much appreciated. How are you doing? Alright, I'm going to go to a much smaller brush. I'm calling 10 zeros. I'm going to do a top highlight on that buckle with that heavy body white that I have. This needs to be extremely delicate. That worked. Going to do a side one here. That worked. From Indiana, USA. Nice to see you in. Nice to know that you're doing good. What are you painting tonight? And welcome here. Going to go around the model doing very, 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 very thin, like almost invisible highlights there. But that is part of making this look good. So this is precisely why I'm using heavy body white. As if this was a tin paint, I would not have the control over the paint that I have right now. Using a very thick paint allows you to have a lot more control over your highlights. That's kind of the secret to this. That's my secret to it. My highlights are a lot better when I'm using some heavy bodies on them than when I'm using anything else. So I'm trying to bring everybody whenever I can. Okay, so we've got some NMM to do on these things as well. We're going to go to our dark gray blue that we had previously. On this one, I'm going to place the highlight here. And we're going to blend this after, no worries. And on this one, I'm going to place it right there. This needs to dry. Mystical Unicorn. The heavy body that I'm using is Golden Artist Color. That was at my local art shop, basically. I went at an art shop, it's titanium white, and I just got that. Like, I never bought heavy body acrylic for miniature painting before. I've used some on I used some cheap like dollar store stuff for like terrain, like homemade terrain and stuff like that. So I just picked something that, like, this is super lame. I looked at the price. I went for, okay, not top of line, not like their lower like super cheap stuff. I went middle range, and I was like, okay, buy and pray that this is good enough. And it is good enough. So, and it's cheap. Like, you've got like, I think you've got like 3 times the amount of paint in this than what you get with the new Scale 75 line that's coming. Fruit Pie, thanks a lot for that follow. Can we get some beavers in the stream for our new friend here? Fruit Pies, how are you doing? So yeah, I don't know how good or bad stuff that thing is. The only thing I know is that's what I'm using. And yeah, so I'm not sure. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. I think it's decent, but I have no idea. Okay, placing the like hard white highlight here. Golden stuff. Okay, cool. Like, I'm in love with heavy body paint so much that, like, I'm actually thinking that I'm going to have a trip to my art store and literally buy like a full range of heavy bodies. Because they just changed the way you paint stuff. So I don't know. For me, they were a discovery, so I'm preaching by that pretty heavily. Okay, going back to that almost black blue color. Smoothing out some transition here. And then I'm going to go back to heavy body white with a tiny brush. And we're going to do the same type of highlight game that we did on the buckle. So removing most of the paint. And I'm going to allow it on the top of it, just to bring some contrast to that thing. And then a thin line here. I think that's good enough. Okay, the effect is there, that's good enough. That's going to be an interesting librarian. Okay, same thing here. Solid line. Then another solid line. Effect is there. Not pushing any further than that. Gosh, we're at 522 follow. Could you believe that? That was an amazing, amazing night. I'm going to switch song here because this is going to put me to sleep. I kind of need some more uplifting song, because some of my songs are literally putting me asleep. Okay, so what's the next step here? What is the next step? I think I'm going to work on the bone stuff there, because there's quite a bit of it that needs to happen. So yeah, let's work on the bone things. So I'm going to put some Minot white on the palette. And we're going to start from there. So Minot white was the base color used for the bone there, but I added a whole bunch of wash to it. This is bones. Naiku. My cam is actually, if you go on Amazon and you look at webcam stand or something like that, there are stands that look like the stand that most paint lights are set up on, and that's how it is. That's how it is holding on top of my Mini. So you like this here is my light that I'm using for painting, and then right there. Under it, you kind of can't see it because of the light. Actually, you know what? Look at that. Right there, this is my webcam, and my right. I'm putting my hand on here. That there is the holder. So that's how it's set up. Okay, so let's dilute that paint. No problem. How you doing? Nice to see you here. What are you working on? Okay, so I've diluted Minot white, damping my brush, and we're going to come in. Oh gosh, that was not damped enough. Just a small mistake here. Okay, maybe I'm going to have to come back to this later. That was, yep, live screw up. Okay, I'm going to put that skull aside and not push it right now, because apparently I'm being stupid and I over-thinned my paint and my brush was not damp enough, so I'm going to have to redo the skull there. I don't want to touch this right now, because if I do, I will cake the skull. which is obviously not my objective. I'm going to let it sit and let it be super ugly like that for a while. Painted for 3 years in your yacht? That's pretty cool. Finish your session. 13 years not painting. Yeah, that feels like, yeah. I came back to painting about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, something like that. After a similar time frame with no paint. Okay, so I was questioning myself how I was going to do the chord here. I've just decided that I'm going to go with the very dark blue color that we have on the palette. I'm going to highlight up to blue. I love that song. Welcome back to the hobby, man. Always nice to see people back. The hobby community is healthier than it probably ever been, which is absolutely amazing for all of us. Nico, thank you for that follow. Can I get some mooses in the stream for our new friend here? Exclamation mark, mooses. Yeah, that blue was a good choice. I'm glad I waited, as I was not sure what color I was going for on this, and dark gray blue works decently. I'm going to highlight it in a second. Guelo? Yep, I saw that. Thanks a lot, man. I hope you have an excellent night, and I'll see you on Monday, man. Thank you for coming by, man. Much appreciated. See you later, man. Okay, going to smaller brush, much smaller brush. Going to pure dark gray blue. That's a beautiful song. Going to do a relatively thick highlight of that dark gray blue here. I'm saying this, but my brush is so small that it's barely picking up any paint. So I'm going to move to a bit of a bigger brush. I'm going to 00. Yeah, that's more like it. At least the color is visible. Okay. And I don't know, I'm feeling heavy white so badly tonight. I'm going to do a mix of dark gray blue and more basically heavy body white but with more dark gray blue. Heavy body white is becoming a parent of mahogany on this stream. Okay. Yeah, that's going to work. And I'm going to do a very faint highlight with that thing. But it's going to work pretty nicely. Used to paint with Linkin Park. Oh man, I feel you. Smell paint color reminds me of painting session. Yeah. Torque, see you in a second. Okay, so I'm loading my brush with that dark gray blue slash heavy body white mix. Hopefully this picks up just enough, not too much. Just want a faint highlight here. Nothing much, just a faint highlight. A little bit more than that. But not much more than that. That is an absolutely beautiful recipe for black highlights, by the way. I've never tried it on this, but it works really well for black highlights. There's some glare on the camera here with the model, so you probably cannot see it super nicely, but it works. Oh yeah, that works. Going to do the same thing this side of it, and then I'm going to let it be. Yeah, that works. Mystical Unicorn, 60 more times tonight, so we can win a giveaway. How many times did I set it? Like, where was the counter tonight for mahogany thing? I think it was at 80 something, right? Am I about right? We started the night at 80 something. Okay, I'm going to use the mixture that I have for that heavy body, and I'm going to use that for the very small dots that are to be done here. Yeah, that was a good choice. Works really nicely. It's a little bit thick, but it's going to pass the test. 31 for tonight. I think this is our life record so far. Am I about right? Okay, so going back to strong tone here. So I need to fix my stupid mistake there. For tonight, I think that's our highest mark so far on a single night. Okay, so going back with a lot. I'm very thick here on the wash. That is actually desired. I'm trying to be lazy here. I don't know if that will work or not. 42 is our record. Yeah, but 42 is like that time where we did it first, I think, or something like that. And I keep poking you guys. Castle Mayor, thanks a lot for that follow. How are you doing? And I think that was like the time where we started that mahogany thing, right? Okay, so I'm going to number 1 monument here. And I'm adding, I'm going to continue here working on fixing that boo-boo that I did much earlier in the stream. Basically, every time that I'm waiting on something to dry, I'm going that. Can I get some hype in the stream for Castle Meyer here, please? Light the way, made it in time. Okay, so damping the brush as usual, then placing the highlights. This is a glaze, so I need to let sit and allow it to dry decently before I come back. This is why I've been jumping from color to color before coming back on this one. Okay, clean the brush right when one of your jam comes on. Is that a song that that you had me put on the playlist? I don't think so. All right, let's need to drink. Going to add some more wash here. Yeah, I literally want this thing to be brown, basically. Yeah, going to sit back and let dry. Oh, cool. Okay. What am I doing for the spine of the book? I think I'm going to do a brighter letter for the spine of that book. So I'm going to... do I want brighter letter? Ah, shit, no I don't. I'm at loss with the spine. I'm not sure. Stream, I need your help. We've got a spine to do here and we've got a ribbon to put here. Is there anyone that has color suggestion for this? We have to keep in mind that this is in between brown and red. So, oh, yellow could work. Are we doing yellow in this? Who feels like yellow? Torque, welcome back. We're discussing about the spine of the book and the letter strap here. Am I the only one who feels yellow for this thing? Green? Yeah, green could work. Green could work. So who says green and who says yellow? Who goes green? Let's go green first. Who wants to do green? Paint After Dark has a thing for yellow. Mystical wants yellow. Castlemeyer wants yellow. Light the Way wants dark green. So this is 3 yellow, 2 green. Okay, let it sit for a second there. Yellow will be too bright. Yeah, yellow could be too bright. Yellow could be too bright. Mostro goes green. We have a tie between green and yellow. The next person to cast their vote is choosing the color for this thing. Wow, Torque, you already casted your vote. I'm not falling for this one, man. I'm not falling for this one. Okay, watch me. It's going to be both green and yellow. It's going to be both green and yellow. I need to get a paint in there. I'm going to use Formula P3 Ordic Olive on this. It's one of my favorite green ever. So I'm starting with green, but this is not going to be green. I'm feeling brave, and I might be about to destroy this this model. I am currently taking a bravery test. There's no such thing as a bravery test every once in a while. Okay, so I'm adding a whole... I'm preparing a puddle of basically Ordic Olive with some black. And we're going to use this as base for that book color. So Ordic Olive, very, very dark green. Okay, I've got the shade that I want. That's the shade that I want. We're going to use this as base. Might require 2 or 3 coats. Not going to care too much about the strap here for now. Going to come back later and fix the strap. Bravery test in progress. You enjoy feeling or seeing people fail? You might want to stay around, because I might be about to fail big time. I know you can't see on camera right now, but believe me, we're going back at it. I'm going to let dry for a second there. Well, the book strap is dry, so I'm going to go back over it right now. Yeah, we're going in. Bravery test in progress. I'm going to do something a little bit bold here. And I have no idea if it's going to come out nice or bad. I never did what I'm about to do. But I feel like this is a cool experiment. So we're doing it. Okay, so the reason why I did a very dark green here is that I'm going to use the dark green as an undercoat. And then I'm going to use golden brown and yellow on top of that dark green to build up the highlights. So golden brown, which is a yellow color, and then golden yellow. We're going to work with that to build some highlights. Currently loading this on the palette. And this might be super bad. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to mix a little bit of olive green with that golden brown. Just a tiny bit. A little bit more. Sorry you cannot see this. That gives me a kind of... It gives me kind of a zombie skin green. Like pale zombie skin green. Going to wipe my brush. I should have showed it to you on my fingernail there, I'm sorry. Going to my monument number 1. Loading the brush. This is the green that it gives me. So it's yellowish green. Damping the brush just a little bit. Careful highlight placement here. Hopefully you guys can see this properly on the camera. The top part is going to be a little bit more challenging. Yeah, top is a little bit more complicated here. Now, if you think this currently looks ugly, fear not. This is far from done. I've got a couple of tricks in my bag for this. This is going to be an amazing book once finished, but it's going to be a bit of a slow build-up. Hey, Paint After Dark, have a good night. Thank you for coming by tonight. It was much appreciated. I hope you had fun. I for sure had a lot of fun. Okay, so you see with the type of build-up this is currently doing. Now this is pretty thick. Breakfast. Light the way, I missed a part there. Okay, so now I'm going to pure Nordic olive. That is going to be thinned down quite a bit. Going to damp my brush. That is going to be used to help with the blending of colors. Bring a little bit of smoothness in there, not too much. This is a book. It's not supposed to be super smooth. But I do want color shift to be a little bit more gentle than that. As you can see, the blend is like the colors are starting to blend together here. So that book has, at the moment, a green spine that is also yellow, and next step, I'm going to load some golden yellow on there. Not too much. It's important not to abuse good things. Just a little bit of that yellow. And I'm going to mix that yellow with some of that golden brown mixed in with some Nordic olive. So I'm toning the yellow down a little bit with the brown, just so that the yellow is not like super poppy. And then I'm bringing everything towards the green spectrum with a bit of green. Not a lot, just a tiny bit. Let's have a look at how that color looks like. So this is an even, this is green, but more yellowish. And we're going to come in with Monument 00 on this. It's time to start getting much thinner. Boosted 03, thank you for that follow. And everybody in the stream, can I get some hype in there for a new friend? Boosted 03, what are you working on? And thank you so much for coming on the stream tonight. It's much appreciated. Okay, this is starting to look pretty good. Thank you for that, Mystical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the color that we were working on with right now. I'm going to do a small puddle aside on my paint surface. I'm going to add a lot more of that white color to it. Actually, I fucked up. This is not what I wanted. Redo. Taking some of that green, adding some yellow to it, a lot of yellow. Cleaning the brush. I've got a bit of Everybody acrylic white left on there. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of it to that mix to thicken up the mix. Like it's so little that it barely changed the color, but the color gets thicker. That's what I'm after at the moment. I'm going to clean my brush. Hey Niku, see you later. Thanks a lot for coming by. I did not understand the 07 thing there, sorry about that. Have a good one. Was super nice having you around. See you on Monday. Okay, so I'm going with 10-0. Grabbing a little bit of that super thick and also super yellow paint. Need to clean my brush. I've got a bit of dry paint on my tip and that's screwing me over. Okay. Should be good. All right. And just like that, we've got a book spine that is both yellow and green. I'm going to lower the exposure here, and I'm going to change the focus so that you can see the thing as it looks. So we've got a somewhat decent book spine here. I like it. How's the stream out on this? I think we have a decent book going. Thank you, man. Okay, so I'm going back to Monument number 1. I'm adding a little bit of that light brown to our mix, adding some water to it, damping the brush, coming back here. Took the whole night to fix this mistake, but that's going to be it. This is going to dry nicely, and with that, the mistake that I did at the beginning of the stream has been fixed. Alright. Thank you, everyone. So this is where the model currently stands. The gun holder is not done. I was very scared about the book. I'm kind of happy how the book turned out. Like the book, like the whole belt situation was stressing me a pretty big time, because there's a lot of things going on the belt, and that was a little bit stressful to me. But this is where we stand right now. All right, so this is where I'm going to call it for tonight. I'm going to switch to my face for a second. Yeah, it makes the map up nicely, and it's cool because one thing that people don't realize is we always paint the front of the minis. But on a table, you're seeing the back of your mini. If you're seeing the front of your minis, you have an issue. Thanks a lot for that. Okay, I'm going to pause the playlist here, and I'm going to have a quick look at who is streaming. So, if you enjoyed this stream, please consider doing a jump to my Patreon page and consider supporting me on there. That'd be much appreciated. Know that I had an absolutely amazing night. So Keyline Prime is still streaming, so we're going to go for a raid on Keyline Prime. If you want to join this raid, that would be absolutely magnificent. Going for Keyline Prime here. And going back up. Raid is going to be ready in a second. Just want to say a big thank you to absolutely everybody who came by tonight. I had an absolute blast. We blasted through the objective. We had 40 new followers tonight, which is absolutely fantastic. On top of that, we had a whole bunch of new subscribers. This is always much appreciated. When you jump on Keyline Prime stream, please, if you are a subscriber and you have access to the Maple Leaf, please flood his stream with the Maple Leaf and consider giving him a follow. That type of thing is always much appreciated. This is how us streamers are supporting one and another. So please jump on there. Thanks a lot for being here tonight. I had an absolute blast with you, and I will see you next Monday. See you.